So today we're going to look at what are polynomials. And our essential question is, what are polynomials? Okay, polynomials are two or more terms. Poly meaning many, nomials meaning terms, many terms. So let's take a look at different types of polynomials. The first one we're going to take a look at is monomials. Meaning one term. And since we're only going to give one example, I'll go ahead and erase so we can just see what one looks like first before we examine many. All right, so an example of that would be 4x squared. The next one we have is binomials, or a binomial. And bi meaning two, bilingual, bicycle, two terms. That example looks like two monomials, but they're separated by an addition or subtraction sign. The third one we're going to take a look at are the trinomial. Trinomial, if you guessed it, means three terms, such as a tricycle or a triangle. Again, it's a monomial. Three monomials being separated with an addition or a subtraction sign. And the last example would be a reference to any polynomial that is more. So when we get into 4 terms, 5 terms, we just automatically call it a polynomial. And here's an example of a 4 term. So negative 5x to the third. Again, it can be a plus or a minus sign, separating each term or monomial. So again, we have monomials, binomials, trinomials, polynomials. So we can really reference binomial, trinomial, or polynomial. All are categorized. So when we start referencing this unit, we will reference them as polynomials. Now let's look at adding polynomials and subtracting polynomials. So basically we're looking at like terms and finding like terms, identifying like terms, and combining those like terms. So first let's look at adding polynomials. So you may see it look like this: 2w plus 7 plus 4w plus 2. One way is to rewrite that vertically so I can line up my like terms and clearly see what I'm combining. So I would take the 2w plus 7, and then I would line up this portion, the 4w underneath the 2w because they are like terms, and the 2 underneath the 7 because they are like terms. And I would just simply combine like terms. So 2w plus 4w would give me 6w. 7 plus 2 would give me 9. How do I know that my answer is complete or simplified? I have no more like terms. Now moving on to subtracting like terms. Go ahead and write that in. Subtracting like terms. Okay, you should be ahead of me. Subtracting polynomials. We're still combining like terms, but there's an additional step that you must remember when subtracting polynomials. First of all, if I give you a problem such as let's change this to 3k squared plus 7k plus 4. And with the parentheses, they're grouped into a trinomial. And I'm going to subtract a binomial, k squared plus 5. I'm going to line it up just as I did over here with the adding polynomials. So I want my like terms to be right underneath each other. So I'm going to rewrite 3k squared plus 7k plus 4. I'm going to put my k squared right underneath my 3k squared. And I'm going to put my 5, which is a constant, right underneath my 4, which is also a constant because they are like terms. Now, because I have this subtraction sign here, this means that everything in the parentheses, I will change the sign. Why? Because the coefficient or number that's outside of the parentheses is a -1. I'm subtracting 1. So distributive property tells me I'm going to change the sign here. So this would become a negative. And I would change the sign of my 5, my +5, and this would become a -5. Now I can combine like terms after changing the sign. So therefore, I'm reducing this. So 3k squared minus 1k squared will become +2k squared. Bring down the 7k. Notice these two are not like terms because their exponent is not the same. And I would combine my positive 4 with my negative 5 to give me negative 1. Is my polynomial or trinomial simplified? Yes, because there are no more like terms. Now we're going to practice adding and subtracting polynomials.